Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Johnson back again. I have Paul's scroll letter to the Ephesians, and I have another Bible story for you. And it might be a Bible story that you've never heard before. So we'll see what that is afterwards. But first, let me read for us. So I need to take off our little string here and unwrap it all. Put the string down. All right, now let's unroll the letter. Remember, Paul has been telling us things that we can do to help other people, to help our church and other people around us to know that we are walking God's way, we're living God's way. He has some more things for us today. Instead of telling lies, that means things that aren't true, remember to always tell the truth. Tell things the way they really happened, not what you want them to be or what you think is safer to say. Instead of stealing, that means taking other people's things for yourself without asking. Oh yes, people do that, boys and girls. Instead of stealing, learn how to work to earn your own money and then share that money with others. See, God is asking us to share so many times. Instead of being angry and saying or doing nasty things to other people, be kind to them. Care about people who are having problems. And be ready to forgive others who do things that you don't like. Remember, God forgave you all the naughty things that you have done. Whoa, all these things to think about. But you know, boys and girls, if we're being kind to people and we're forgiving them if they do something wrong, and if we're telling the truth, those are all parts of showing love to other people, ways to help them feel better if they're having problems. It's a way of making a more peaceful feeling. The word peaceful might be new to you as well. When we talk about peace or feeling peaceful, it means a feeling inside us where things are calm, they're relaxed, nothing is upset. Very often it's a happy feeling. Let me show you some faces and you tell me if I look peaceful or if you think I'm feeling peaceful on the inside. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I just don't know. Now, did that look and sound peaceful, boys and girls? No, it didn't. I was worried. I was so worried about something. I was not focusing on God, and I didn't have that calm, peaceful feeling inside of me. And someone watching me might have thought, oh no, she's worried. And then they're not having a peaceful feeling inside them. Let's try another one. Here's one. Oh, I'm so sad. I am so sad. Now, did I look or sound peaceful there? No, I was sad. I not only told you in my words that I was sad, but you could see by my face. Oh, I was sad. I almost had tears coming on the outside because I was feeling sad inside. And again, someone watching me might think, oh no, my friend Mrs. Johnson is sad. This is terrible. Then they're not feeling peaceful either. How about this one? I am so angry. I don't know what I'm going to do. Whoa, that one wasn't peaceful either, was it, boys and girls? No, it was not. And somebody who knew me, who was watching me, might think, whoa, that lady really has a problem. She is not happy. But I wouldn't be feeling peaceful inside, and they wouldn't either, especially if I was angry at that person who was watching me. That would not be peaceful anywhere. Our story today is about a man who is going to be a peacemaker. He's going to make peace. It's an expression we have in English. Make peace. And it doesn't mean to build things like with blocks. And it doesn't mean to mix something up like cake mix in a bowl. It means to do or say something that will return a calm, peaceful feeling to things. And I think it will be better explained as we go through the story. So come with me to the story pictures and we'll find out about Abraham. Oh, and one thing I should tell you, in the Bible, Abraham is called Abram sometimes, and then God changes his name to Abraham. So you'll hear it both ways, but it's the same man. I just chose to say Abraham because I think a lot of children have heard of him more as Abraham than Abram. So come with me to the pictures. Our story begins today, boys and girls, with two men who are traveling with their families, their flocks of sheep, and their herds of cattle and their camels. This picture even shows some donkeys in there. There are family members walking around, and this is just a few of them. There are the men, the herdsmen, who take care of all of the animals. We can see one here. So the others will be back with the rest of the animals. They just don't all fit in the picture. Both of these men have lots and lots of animals that they take care of. That's their job. The man over here with the blue lower robe and the red around his head, his name is Lot. And his uncle, here in the yellow, is his uncle Abraham. I mentioned before to you. So Lot and Abraham are traveling. They are moving from one place to another, and they're bringing all their family and all their animals with them. Oh, look. Now when Lot is standing up on top of the hill and looking down, look at all the animals here. There's a well for water and all the tents that the people live in over here. Can I get closer to show you those tents? Wow, great, great big tents that they live in. Because they're traveling, they can't carry a house with them, so they have their tents. But a problem is going to come up. Let's see what it is. Here we have a picture showing groups of men talking to each other, and they've got a problem. The problem is that they have come to the place where they want to stay, to live, but there's not enough grass and not enough water for both men's sets of animals. Oh dear, let's see what's happening here. This man right here is coming with the sheep, and he's coming over and saying, we need to have the grass here for our sheep. And this man right here is saying, well, we're already feeding our sheep here. There's not enough grass for both of them. Oh dear. Does that mean we'll have some hungry sheep? Let's look at the next picture. And now this man right here, the same man that we saw back here who was already with the grass, now this man is coming with their sheep to the well to get some water. They would have to just lift this stone off the top, and then they can bring water up in buckets for the animals. And this man says, well, we're already here watering our sheep. There's not enough water here for both of us. Oh dear. Do you know who these men are, boys and girls? These groups of men, and there's more than just four. Like I said, there are more of them than will fit in the pictures. One group of herdsmen belongs to Lot, and they work for him. The other group of herdsmen works for Abraham and works for him. They are trying to take good care of the animals that their bosses have entrusted to them, but there's not enough grass and water to go around. So the problem becomes, let's make a big jump here. The problem becomes that they start arguing with each other, yelling at each other. Look, they look like they could get ready to start fighting. Oh no, Is that the way God wants people to live? Arguing and yelling or even fighting? No, He doesn't. He loves everybody. He loves all of the herdsmen. He loves all of the animals. He made them all. There has to be a way to settle this without a big fight. Abraham and Lot see what's going on. And the men have come and told them, saying there's not enough land here, not enough grass and water for both families and all of the animals. So Abraham comes up with a plan. He says to Lot, "You and I are family. We care about each other. It's not right that we or our herdsmen should be fighting or arguing or getting angry over land and water when there's not enough for both of us. So look around, and I will let you choose where you want to live with your family and your animals. So just look all around and see what you see and tell me where you want to go." So Lot stands up on one of the hills and looks down, and this is what he sees. He sees a couple of cities here. You can see the buildings. He sees lots of green grass, lots of water for the animals to have. Oh my goodness, look, some trees and bushes around the water. This looks like it would be a wonderful place to have his animals and his family. So Lot says, "I want this land right here." And Abraham says, "Fine, you can have that. Go and enjoy it." So, next picture shows Lot riding away, following his animals and his herdsmen. His family is probably going on ahead of them because they're not showing here. But he waves goodbye to his uncle Abraham. And they're still family. They're still friendly. Abraham has been the peacemaker. Abraham has done something that has changed arguing and angry feelings into happy and calm and peaceful feelings. So they ride away. Lot rides away, following the animals and his family and his herdsmen. And now we wonder what happens to Abraham. But this is not the end of the story. Not at all. Because after Lot left, God said to Abraham, "Abraham, turn around and look. Look at what you see. Look at all the land ahead of you. Look at the water that's there. All of this I'm going to give to you for you and your family, your children and your grandchildren, and for your family for a long, long time to come." God was happy, boys and girls, that Abraham had been peaceful. He had not fought with his nephew, Lot. He had not gotten angry with him. He wanted to do things in a kind and loving way. So he let Lot choose first. But look what God gave to him. How beautiful. Look at all the green grass down here. Everywhere you see the green painted, that's all green grass. The bushes and the trees and this river that's just going and going. Looks like it just keeps on going. There is plenty of grass and water there for his animals and his family. So Abraham moved to that land and he put up his tent. See his big brown tent here? He put up his tent and could see that there was plenty of grass and water for his animals and that he and his family could live here peacefully. Abraham was a peacemaker. And you know what? He also was thankful. He told God, "Thank you." They had very special ways of doing that in Bible times, and Abraham made sure that he said thank you to God. Here are our Bible words again, boys and girls. And again, I put the scroll letter there to remind us that all of these things that we're learning to say have come from Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Let me read it all together. You can say it with me if you want, and then we'll look at each paper separately. All right, let's start at the beginning. In love, he chose us to be adopted as his children through Jesus. Ephesians 1:5. And the second one, but God made us alive together with Christ. Ephesians 2:4 and 5. And the third, in him you also are being built together. Ephesians 2:22. Oh, how special. The first one here, in love, he chose us to be adopted as his children through Jesus. That was in the first part of Ephesians. Remember, God loves us so much that he wants us to be children in his family. But we were dead on the inside. We were dead on the inside because of our naughty things, because of our sin. But when we tell Jesus we're sorry for those sins, God makes us alive together with Christ. In part 2, Ephesians 2:4 and 5. And that deadness that was on the inside of us is gone. But he doesn't stop there. We come to the third part over here. In him, you also are being built together. Ephesians 2:22. It's still the second part. See, there's a 2 on each one of these, right there. But it's not just me and you now. It's all of the people that God is building together to be his church. Not putting one on top of each other like Legos or wooden blocks. That would look kind of strange, wouldn't it? If I lay down on the ground and then you laid on top of me and then your mommy laid on top of you. Yeah, it would just look really silly with all these people lying on top of each other. But he means coming together, working together, loving each other, and showing God's love to other people. That's what he means by being built together. Let's go back now, each one separately, and let's do it in a whisper, a really soft voice. Can you say it with me? In love, he chose us to be adopted as his children through Jesus. Ephesians 1:5. Second one. But God made us alive together with Christ. Ephesians 2:4 and 5. In him, you also are being built together. Ephesians 2:22. Oh, good whispering, boys and girls. That was really good. All right. For our last time through, let's say it in regular voice, not a whisper, not real loud, but just regular voice, and see if we can go from one paper to the next one and to the next one. Can you do that with me? Here we go. In love, he chose us to be adopted as his children through Jesus. Ephesians 1:5. But God made us alive together with Christ. Ephesians 2:4 and 5. In him, you also are being built together. Ephesians 2:22. And where do all of those words come from? Paul's scroll letter to the Ephesian church at Ephesus. Very good, boys and girls. Thank you so much for this. In addition to the Bible words, boys and girls, Miss Melissa, you remember her. She teaches the 1-year-old class, and a lot of you had her as your teacher when you were 1 and very young 2s. She had an idea to help us remember some of the things that Paul is trying to tell us and teach us in his letter to the Ephesian church. So I want you to, we use hand motions with it. So I want you to watch and see what I do. I'll do it 3 times, and you can start doing it with me whenever you think you're ready. All right. May God make you strong on the inside to believe who Jesus is and what he did, to know how much he loves us, and to share his love to other people. Now for the second time. You can join in if you want to. May God make you strong on the inside to believe who Jesus is and what he did, to know how much he loves us, and to share his love to other people. Pretty good. All right, let's do it the third time. See if you can do it all with me. Get your strong arms ready. May God make you strong on the inside to believe who Jesus is and what he did, to know how much he loves us, and to share his love to other people. Very good, boys and girls. If you learn nothing else out of the book of Ephesians, I hope that you learned those three things because they are so important. Let's go and sing our song now. If I love Jesus, I am chosen by God. If I love Jesus, I'm forgiven by God. If I love Jesus, I am sealed with his love. I'm adopted into his family. Jesus died to take away my sin. He rose again and he wants to be my friend. He makes me wise so I can live for him. I'm adopted into his family. Okay, now we'll bring the camera a little bit closer so you can see my mouth while I'm singing. If I love Jesus, I am chosen by God. If I love Jesus, I'm forgiven by God. If I love Jesus, I am sealed with his love. I'm adopted into his family. Jesus died to take away my sin. He rose again and he wants to be my friend. He makes me wise so I can live for him. I'm adopted into his family. All right, now I'll sing it for a third time, and this time I'll add some clapping to it. So we'll need to get the camera where we can see my hands clapping. You can get your hands ready too if you want. If I love Jesus, I am chosen by God. If I love Jesus, I'm forgiven by God. If I love Jesus, I'm sealed with his love. I'm adopted into his family. Jesus died to take away my sin. He rose again and he wants to be my friend. He makes me wise so I can live for him. I'm adopted into his family. If we're God's church, we are sinners saved by grace. If we're God's church, we are people, not a place. If we're God's church, we are loved by God. Let's show the world we are his family. Jesus died to take away our sin. He rose again and he wants to be our friend. He makes us wise so we can live for him. We're adopted into his family. All right, now let's bring the camera closer so you can watch my mouth. If we're God's church, we are sinners saved by grace. If we're God's church, we are people, not a place. If we're God's church, we are loved by God. Let's show the world we are his family.